Hey wizards, what's up? Did Albus Dumbledore really show favoritism towards Gryffindor? Over the years, an image has been widely shared and spread that Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster of Hogwarts, was not impartial at all, and that he favored Harry Potter's house, especially at the end of Harry's first school year, between 1991 and 1992, when Gryffindor finished in last place. The standings were as follows. In last place, Gryffindor, with 312 points. In third place, Hufflepuff, with 352 points. In second place, Ravenclaw, with 426 points. And in first place, the house that would win the House Cup for the 8th consecutive year, Slytherin, with 472 points. The Slytherin students were happy, the Gryffindor students sad. However, as Dumbledore himself said, he had some last-minute points to award, taking into account the most recent events. He gives Harry Potter 60 points for risking himself and fighting Quirrell and Voldemort to stop them from getting the Philosopher's Stone. 50 points to Ron Weasley for the excellent chess game and for sacrificing himself for his friends. 50 points to Hermione Granger for her excellent use of logic in the Potions Challenge. And finally, 10 points to Neville Longbottom for standing up to his friends, something that was harder to do than facing enemies. The total of all this was 170 more points for Gryffindor, moving them from last place to first and making their house win the championship. Now, I have a question for you. Regardless of your Hogwarts house, which house do you identify with? Which house do you like the most? Or if you don't have a house at all, that's fine too. Do you think Dumbledore really favored Gryffindor? In this case, did he favor Harry Potter's house? Well, I asked this question on my story over on Instagram, and more than 36,000 people saw it and responded. And 71% agree that Dumbledore favored Gryffindor, while 29% do not agree. Well, let's move on and analyze in the following books. In Harry's second school year, Dumbledore awards 400 points to Gryffindor House, 200 to Harry, 200 to Ron. After they entered the Chamber of Secrets, saved Ginny, destroyed the part of Voldemort's soul, and came back from the chamber, bringing both Ginny and Gilderoy Lockhart anyway. Besides that, Harry and Ron receive an award for services to the school. Gryffindor also won the House Cup that year. In the third school year, Gryffindor won the Quidditch Cup for the first time in a while, and that earned them a considerable number of points. So, they also won the House Cup. In the fourth school year, there was no Quidditch Cup between the houses, but the house points were awarded as usual. But because of everything that happened the morning for Cedric, the points weren't counted and there was no winning house. In the fifth year, Minerva McGonagall awards a total of 250 points when she returns from St. Mungo's and sees Snape trying to take points from Gryffindor, but their hourglass was at 0. So she gives 50 points to Harry, 50 points to Ron, 50 points to Hermione, 50 points to Ginny, and 50 points to Luna Lovegood. And then, at that moment, she says that now Snape could take off the 10 points he wanted to take off. Also that year, Gryffindor wins the Quidditch Cup, which earns them some good points there. In the sixth school year, there's also no House Cup, because Dumbledore ends up dying, so they don't hold the championship, the final ranking, or the points tally. In the seventh year, Harry doesn't return to Hogwarts because of everything going on, right? Voldemort's forces took over the school, so there were no points or anything, and students were being tortured. So, Dumbledore gave points to Gryffindor twice, in Harry's first and second school years, both times completely fair. In the fifth year, it's Minerva McGonagall who gives the high points to the house. And Minerva was completely fair. She even took points from Gryffindor many times. So, I say that those 71% are wrong. You are completely wrong. The movies make us have that impression, right? That Dumbledore was a bit biased toward Gryffindor. But look, Harry, Ron, and Hermione saved the school their first year. If Voldemort had managed to get his hands on the Sorcerer's Stone, a lot of those students would have been in big trouble. So, the points were fair, In the second year, the points are fair too. After all, they went into the Chamber of Secrets, saved Ginny, and prevented an even bigger tragedy from happening. And in the other years, they earned house points normally.
No one had high scores except in Order of the Phoenix, where Minerva gave 1. But we need to remember what happened in Order of the Phoenix with Umbridge and the Inquisitorial Squad at school.
Taking away a lot of points, unfairly. After all, should we also look at the points that were taken from Gryffindor?
In the first school year, Harry is already humiliated by Snape in the first class. He loses a point for Gryffindor because Snape asks him something and he doesn't know the answer. After humiliating him, the professor deducts a point from the house.
Then, in the next potions class, Snape takes another point when Neville makes a mistake with the potion.
He says Harry was to blame for not helping his friend, claiming Harry wanted to feel superior if his friend was wrong.
In other words, completely unfair.
Minerva McGonagall deducts 5 points from Hermione after she goes to the bathroom to find the troll. Minerva deducts 150 points from Gryffindor, 50 each from Harry, Hermione, and Neville. Snape also takes 5 points from Harry for having Quidditch through the ages at school.
And then she takes another 5 points when Ron loses his temper and goes after Draco, after Draco keeps provoking and humiliating him.
So, a total of 177 points were taken. Out of those 177 points, Snape's points were completely unfair. Completely.
In the second school year, Percy only deducts points from Gryffindor twice, totaling 10 points.
In the third school year, Snape takes 5 points from Hermione for supposedly helping Neville in potions class. He deducts 10 points when Harry is late to Lupin's class, which he's covering. He takes another 5 when Harry asks about the professor's illness. In the same class, he also deducts 5 points from Hermione because she answers his question.
In a potions class, Draco keeps teasing Ron and Harry, as he always did. And then, Ron loses his temper and throws a crocodile heart at Draco, making Gryffindor lose 50 points, that is, 75 points taken away.
All of them completely unfairly.
Because Draco was always provoking, always doing something, and Snape did absolutely nothing. On the contrary, he kept giving Slytherin points, but was always taking points from Gryffindor for no reason. In the fourth year, Snape takes 50 points from Gryffindor after Draco keeps provoking the trio.
And then they exchange spells there.
And besides that, Draco hits Hermione with a spell that makes her teeth grow all the way down to her chest. And Snape says he didn't see any difference in her teeth. And do you think he takes points from Slytherin?
No, he only takes points from Gryffindor.
Besides, he only gives detention to Gryffindor students too. He didn't take a single point from Slytherin, not one. While Hermione discusses Rita Skeeter's article about her and Crumb, Snape arrives and deducts more points from Gryffindor.
Exactly 10 points, and then he takes another 10 because she had the magazine with that article.
In other words, 70 points taken away completely unfairly. In the fifth year, that's when things get really bad for Harry and Gryffindor, right? He loses points in Umbridge's class for telling the truth about Voldemort's return. 10 points off. Hermione also loses 5 points for questioning the empty, unhelpful textbook. Angelina Johnson loses 5 points, those taken by Minerva McGonagall, for yelling at Harry in the Great Hall and causing a bit of a scene. Angelina explains Harry got another detention, and Minerva deducts 5 more points from him for losing his temper with Umbridge and getting detention again.
Snape takes 10 points from Gryffindor when Neville loses control after Draco keeps provoking him about people who lived at St. Mungo's and had mental problems.
And Umbridge takes 50 points from Gryffindor when Harry says he gave an interview to the Quibbler in Hogsmeade.
After Umbridge appoints the Inquisitorial Squad and Draco joins, he takes 5 points from Harry just because he dislikes him, as stated.
He takes 5 points from Ron because his shirt was untucked, and takes 5 points from Hermione because she was speaking badly about Umbridge.
Then he deducts another 10 points, just saying, I forgot, minus 10 points because you're a mudblood.
A total of 100 points were taken, and only the ones that Minerva took were fair.
In the 6th book, Harry doesn't even get to the school, and he already loses 70 points because he arrives there, from the Hogwarts Express, late, since Draco paralyzed him with a spell and broke his nose. So, Tonks takes him to the gate. Snape greets him, deducts 50 points for being late, and 20 more for not wearing his uniform.
He deducts 10 points from Harry for being late to class, and in the same lesson, takes 10 points from Ron for supporting Harry's correct answer about the difference between ghosts and inferi.
90 points were taken, all unfairly. Now look, Snape was always taking points unfairly, for any reason, and he never took points from Slytherin, even though Slytherin students were always provoking fights, causing trouble, and being directly involved in the fights. He never took points, unlike Minerva, who took points from her own house. No, Dumbledore didn't cheat or play favorites. Honestly, if I were Dumbledore, I'd have given Gryffindor even more points, which would be favoritism. The other professors, Slughorn, Sprout, Flitwick, gave points to Gryffindor normally. Snape never gave a single point to Gryffindor.
And he was always taking points away unfairly, while constantly favoring Slytherin and giving them points.
Now, if Dumbledore really cheated for Gryffindor, if he favored Gryffindor, why did Slytherin win 7 years in a row before Harry started at the school? Oh, Kako, so he favored Harry, then? He didn't. He definitely didn't favor them. Every time Harry, or Ron, or Hermione earned points, they definitely deserved it.
Now, that trash Draco Malfoy, who was just garbage in human form in the books, that jerk Crabbe and Goyle, nothing ever happened to them. They didn't lose a single point from Snape, nor were they punished.
Draco was punished only when Minerva found him out of bed, losing points and getting detention with Harry, Hermione, and Neville in Philosopher's Stone. So, my dear 71%, I'm sorry to inform you, but you're wrong. Folks from the 29%, we're together. That's it. Dumbledore wasn't biased. He just balanced things out since Snape unfairly took points and favored Slytherin.
Oh, come on. So tell me, what do you think? Tell me whose side you're on.
Are you with the 71% or the 29%? Do you really think Dumbledore favored Gryffindor? Did he favor Harry?
I want to know. Tell me down below. I'll see you in the next episode here on the Leaky Cauldron. Until then, mischief managed.